Hey everyone, I'm Jay and this is Intro to Python Lab 1.3. We're finally going to actually make some code that runs and actually does something. So this lab we're going to continue from our previous one, make a copy of that file, make a new file, include all these comments, that's this middle step right here. But we're also going to include the Python shebang, and we'll talk briefly about what that is and what that does. And we're also going to include the hello world message. It's super famous. It's everybody's first program is to export the words hello world. Okay. So we have that. I have some links to some further reading about the shebang and what it is and what it does. But let's have a look at PyCharm, the third of the IDEs that are recommended for this course. I have the shebang first. The shebang, if used at all, should always be first because it tells your computer, tells your interpreter and everything what it's supposed to do. When we're specifically saying use Python 3, okay? Which means that if your computer does not have Python 3, this will raise an alert and say, hey, something doesn't align. Maybe you only have Python 2. You could specifically say to use Python 2. Or you could just say Python and we don't care because we're writing our code in such a way that it will work either way. Okay, then I have my comments here, and you'll notice now that we're using PyCharm, we get a lot more notices and warnings, and it's telling me that I should use triple double quotes instead of triple single quotes. So I'm going to go ahead and change that to double quotes. It offered me a quick little one-click thing to do that. It also says my name is spelled wrong. Shame on you, Python. It also says Braytac's name is wrong, but I looked it up. That's right. And so I have my coded area there. I'm just going to put a little extra line break there. And then I have my first actual command that Python is going to run. It's going to print the string of characters, hello world. These quotes represent that it is just a string of characters. And where it's going to print, it's not going to print it to the printer. If we wanted to print to a printer, we would have a lot of extra work to do to say, hey, we need to find printer and do all that stuff, which we're not doing right now. Where it's going to print to is whatever the standard output is. And of course, the standard output is the terminal here. And if I run this, it will just tell me what the file is first. That's always what it's going to do. And then it's going to do the output. And gives me a nice little message at the end that says I finished with an exit code of 0. We don't know what that means yet. We'll have to see. Okay. Also want to note that PyCharm specifically, if I don't put in one extra line at the end, it wants to put a little squiggly there to give me that one extra line at the end. So if you're using PyCharm, you get a lot more squigglies. You may find them annoying, or you may find them helpful to keep your code in line. All right, but that is lab 1.3. We're actually going to do our first things. I know you may be thinking these labs 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3, they're like super easy. You could have just done them all in one thing, but you've created a file and you've added it to your IDE 3 times now, so you should be great at that. And you've done some comments 3 times now. So this, you've done it 3 times. It's a habit. You know how to do it. We can move on safely and know that we're fully comfortable with this. So hopefully it wasn't too boring to make a small file 3 times. Trust me, that little bit of practice is going to help, especially in the next week or 2. All right. So that's it for Lab 1.3. See you next time.